this is Amy. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I am going to show you how I paint a floral design on this glass bottle. Very simple, easy design. I'm going to be using two number 12s flat brushes. They're plaid one-stroke brushes. Going to be using my Glass Art by Dynasty brush. It's the 10/0. And then my little dotting stylus. The paint I'm using is all folk art paint. I will be using a mixture of the multi-surface and the enamels, starting with Berry Wine, Wicker White, Happy Green, Thicket, and Moon Yellow. Alright, let's go ahead and get started on this design. I am going to be basically loading my brush in between these two colors. That's the Wicker White and the Berry Wine. And you just go back and forth and blend them. If you want to pick up more of the burgundy, you go over, or the berry wine, I should say, you go over into that pile, and then you just keep doing the motion of blending. Alright? I'm going to start right here. I have washed this bottle, cleaned it off, had some issues trying to get the silly labels off. They were really stuck to it. Didn't realize that they had such a good glue on them. My goodness. I understand they want them to stick, but for heaven's sakes, they would still be on there if I hadn't scrubbed and used rubbing alcohol, everything else trying to get them off. Alright, this is just a simple design I came up with. Nothing fancy. I am basically going to be doing a layered flower, kind of rotating the colors a little bit. I'm going to keep turning the bottle, got some hair on there, and going around the bottle with the burgundy, I don't know why I keep saying burgundy, with the berry wine on the outer part and the wicker white on the center, as you can see. And I am going over each petal twice. I just want to mention too, if you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell before leaving. If you like this video at the end, please make sure you give me a big thumbs up. I would certainly appreciate that. I am trying to grow my channel. I also like to mention too that I am left-handed, and if you are right-handed, the way I start a petal, I typically a lot of times start from the right and go. You might find yourself needing to start from the left and go around. That's perfectly fine. Alright, so then I am going to continue on, but I'm going to switch my paint out a little bit. I mean, I'm still using the same colors, but what I'm going to do is have the white be the outer part and the berry wine be the center, and I'm just adding in a layer. This petal that I'm doing, I mean, you can do some little blending strokes if you want, but it's just I'm lining it up and wiggling it a little bit. Oopsie, I'm separating the paint a little bit. That will happen. You just want to make sure you're not overworking the paint, which sometimes when you go back over to put another layer, that can happen. So I'm just lightly pouncing it in so that I'm not doing that again right now. Like I said, that can happen. You just gotta just lightly touch it so that you don't keep pulling it up. And then we'll do this again. I'm just going to be careful here because now I'm seeing that that is lifting a little bit. I don't want to continue to do that. So I'm just very lightly touching it and bringing it back. I want good coverage though. So it's not going to stop me from layering it. And you could also maybe hit this with a hair dryer or a heat gun to give it some drying time. That might help if the undercoat were drier. But it's basically, the paint's raising up underneath. So I do need to be careful here, and I might have to stop. I didn't have this problem, of course, on my paper, but for some reason on this bottle tonight, it's going to give me a way to go. But you just have to work with it. It's not a biggie. Not a big deal. And I am going to be selling the lighted wine bottles in my Etsy shop. I love them. I think they're so pretty, so relaxing. And there's one that I did a sample. I haven't done any more videos with it, but I am going to keep it for myself. As I said, I was going to use my heat gun, try to give this a little chance because I want to layer it some more. But then I realized my heat gun is actually out in my garage, so that's not going to help me any. Alright, so I'll just keep going here. The next thing I'm going to do, and I like to do like different, you know, whether they're partially open or they're a bud, that kind of thing. I'm going to do that here. And then I'm going to turn my paintbrush, do the same this shape's leaf, or petal I should say, it's not a leaf. And then I'm going to come down here, just bring it out, bring it back up. I like to rotate sometimes, like the different colors, you know, from the outer side to the inside, what the colors are that I'm using. I think that just gives it more character. And I'm just being so careful here because I don't want to lift the paint. Alright, let's keep going here. And then I think on this one I'm going to add, these are kind of like partially, I don't know, I guess it's kind of a bud in a sense. And on these, I'm just keeping them the same way. And then on this, I'm going to pull it down and pull it up. And you can make it smaller if you wanted. It's going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm trying not to go too far around it because I don't want to mess up my design while I'm trying to do the video, which I'm really good at messing up my design while I do the video, especially when I'm working on something that has a rounded shape. There we go. Now if you feel like you get too much paint on your paintbrush, feel free to scrape some off. It's not a problem. Alright, so let's go over here. I'm going to turn it a little bit, and I'm going to do a different design. This one is going to go like that. Bring it back down. Now if you have any, I don't know, any painting tips you'd like to share, or any questions or comments that you'd like to make, please feel free to make those down below. I'd love to hear from you. I welcome any kind of comments, you know, questions, anything like that. It's awesome. If you want to share, I do have a Facebook page that I list in the comments below my video, and you know, feel free to share in that as well, because if you do any of my designs, I'd love to see the outcome. Now I'm doing like a little swirl here, and sometimes when you do that, especially on glass, it'll raise the paint up. Just go over it. Not a big deal. See what I did? I just made it a little bit darker and went over it. Alright, so let's go on here. And I'm going to go down here, kind of have one like it's coming down this way. I'm going to use the lighter paint on the outside. See, it starts to turn pink, like more of a pinkish look as opposed to the white. If you don't like that, just make sure you're cleaning off your brush, whether it's scraping it off or doing better blending strokes could help, but you might need to clean your brush. If you don't mind the pink, then leave it alone. And then on this one, I'm going to lead with the berry wine. Go like that, and hope that I get a nice clean line. And I probably will not, so I'll have to come back and add to it. That one wasn't too bad. But I'm going to go back over it, I think, just lightly. I really am just touching it very lightly because I don't want to pull the paint off. Alright, so then I'm going to come over here. My brush is getting pretty full. Yeah, so you can always use like paper towels or something like that to clean it off, clean the excess off with if you want. Okay, so on this one, get a little bit more white in here, and I'm going to do just the basic stroke. Come down here. I think on this one I really need more rubbing alcohol on it. I think a lot of what's happening is there's oil on this. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is attempt to make a more like a bud kind of a look here. I did it a little bit differently on my paper. It's a little bit bigger. Oops, I don't want to drop it. Okay, then I'm going to start off over here and do some wiggle motion, kind of making some ruffly petals. Oops, now I'm getting it, twisting it backwards here as far as my paint goes. And that's not going to work. Alright, so I'm doing this, just kind of pulling it up. And I come around here. Yeah, I'm going to keep going in the same direction. And just kind of end it up here, like that. Then I'm going to take my brush and come down here, just add some more petals in. Add some more petals in. And this is kind of an odd looking design. I mean, it's not a typical, but it's fine. That's how I designed it. That's the whole point of it's awesome to be able to do your own thing when you're painting. Set your own creations. It's great. Alright, I'm going to go back to this one, the big one here, the one in the center, and try to attempt to continue, but we'll see what happens here. I just have to be careful because I know I could easily pull that paint up and I don't want to. Because like I said, I didn't have my heat gun like I was hoping. that was not good, but we'll have to deal with that as we can. It's not a biggie. Not a big deal. And then I am going to make my little center here, and there we go again. I'm kind of glad it's doing this, because then you can see you just have to learn how to make the best out of it. You really do. I'm going to put some more paint on this so I don't pull it all up. This is why you have to be really careful. So I'm just kind of tapping it in like that. Not exactly the way I wanted it to be, but it'll do. And I do apologize, my furnace is kicking on right about now, so like I said, I'm trying to be just ever so gently with these strokes that I'm making right now, because I just don't want to keep pulling paint up. And you just, you can keep working with it as much as you want. I'm not going to overwork it, or try not to overwork it, because I don't really want to have an issue here. Let's see, there we go. I say this is the worst bottle I've had so far. I don't know why it's doing this. But the basic gist of this flower is just to keep adding layers onto it and just keep working it. Okay. I'm going to leave it alone for now, because I'm afraid I'm just going to make it worse. And I'll finish showing you what I do with it. But let's go ahead and get some greenery in here. I am going to be using my little Dynasty brush. I'm covering it with the Thicket green. And I'm going to go in here and then just start painting little lines to kind of tie them all together. And let's come back here. And let's do this. I am just kind of throwing it down here, like this would be the stem for this design. And you'll see it a little bit better here in a minute, because I am going to throw some of this green in here so you can actually see it better. My trusty happy green. I'm going to pull that into it. Pull it into it and pull it down. Alright, so with this I'm going to be working on attaching the flowers to the stem. And just very simply with the liner. If you're able to do it with another tool, easier, because we all have our, if you're a painter already, you might have your favorite brushes or your favorite techniques to use for this, because there are a variety of ways to do it, not just one specific way. And you can make it, have it come out a little bit, make it a little more whimsical if you want, more little curviness to it is fine. Not real difficult. The ones that are like this, I'm just going to make it like it's being attached like this. My typical, go-to way of attaching. But I do like to use at least the 2 different colors of green. And then we're back into this one. I can do it like that. And make it a little bit more whimsical. A little bit, come Come on out, you cute little bud. And then just keep going down the, trying not to get paint. I'm so good at touching my paint, or there's paint on the other side of the bottle, laying it down so that it touches my paper, and then I get a little angry at myself, like, why did I just do that? You know, if you want to use, like I said, a different brush to do your stems, you don't have to use a liner. I'm just choosing to do this because I like the coverage that it gives me. Definitely it's decent coverage. Definitely. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see me paint, I would love to hear your suggestions. I try to do whatever my followers suggest as quickly as I can. Incorporate that into my video lineup. And I know there's people that I follow when they veer off doing something different. Sometimes it's like, okay, why are you doing that? I really liked the way you were painting or whatnot. You know, if there's anything, because I can paint on a lot of other surfaces. I'm just choosing to do these on the glass. But if you would like to see me paint on, you know, on wood, on fabric, I can do any of that really. And there are some projects that I have that I can actually do the painting on, the wood or, you know, fabric. Okay, so the next step here, I'm going to be basically doing the same thing with the loading of my brush. I don't want to move this over here for a minute. You know, just tapping into the happy green. If I want to, I'm going to tap into that yellow, the moon yellow, add some of that to my green, and keep going. Alright. I'm trying to keep my brushes where they're not going to be in the way. Yeah, I'm so sad that my big center flower didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted it, but what you gonna do, right? Okay, so on this, because I am doing a green bottle, I'll probably have a tendency to put the lighter green on the exterior so you can see it. And then come back here, and I'm going to fill this in because I don't want it to be like that. And then come out here and do the same. Almost did the wrong thing. The same. And then you can, you know, turn the brush. It's just a little bit harder to do it on the glass because it ends up, you can flip it and come back. And I want to flip it, and I want some of my green on the back. That's the, or darker green on the bottom. So you can see it, and then you can come over your branch a little bit with the flat brush. If you want to put a line in it, I'd probably put the lighter line in it. With these, you don't really necessarily have to put a line in them. You can, or you can just leave it be. Like that. I mean, I think they're kind of fun just turned as it is. So, anyways, and so here we're going to go up and into this one a little bit. Do the same kind of leaf, and then come back up. So we're going like this, and we're just wiggling a little bit, stop it, and then you flip your brush a little bit and come back. And that's where I say that it's, you know, it's pulling the paint up. So what I'm going to do is just come back over it like that, and that basically gives it the look I want. Alright, so here I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Make sure I'm in my, okay, and then come back up. My brush is getting full of paint. Just kind of cleared it off a little bit. So then I'm going to get my like that. Let's see, get a little bit darker in here. And I'm just doing it so lightly, because again, I'm so afraid I'm going to pull the paint on this. I'm kind of thinking, like I said, that the bottle is got grease or something on it that's doing that. I don't like how that looks. Just want to come back in here, pull it down, give it a little bit more of the darkness, like that. Hopefully you get the gist. Like I said, when you're painting stuff, you just kind of have to play with it and feel it out, and then make adjustments based on, I'm doing that the wrong direction here, based on what you're up against. And that's why I say, you know, it's nice if you learn how to compensate and make up for any kind of difficulties that you might have with a design, instead of just throwing your arms up in the air and saying, ugh, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. If you know, figure it out, don't give up, keep practicing, because, I mean, I get it. All of us have that. I told this story on one of my other videos. I had been painting, I gotta go back over this guy like this. I had been painting wine glasses for a long time. And this one design in particular, and one night I was painting and I just got to the part where it's like, I can't paint this design. You know, I don't know what the heck's wrong, but I can't paint it. And I've painted it a gazillion times. Well, you know, sometimes either your hands aren't moving the way you want them to, or something. But sometimes that happens. You know, you just get to a part where it's just not flowing. Don't give up. Just give yourself a break. Realize that that happens. Not uncommon. And don't beat yourself up over it. Just not worth it. But you want to be able to be creative. And you'll get it. Sometimes it just takes more practice and training your hand how to flow. Sometimes it's just a matter of that you just need a break. It's not that you don't know how to do it. It's you're tired, or your hand's tired. You know, maybe you've painted a gazillion things and you just need that break. That happens. I know for myself, especially with being a lefty, there are times when people try to teach me stuff and I can't catch it. I just can't understand. Can't get the movement, can't get the flow. Well, what I typically do is then take time by myself and just keep practicing. You know, I just keep practicing, and then finally it'll click. You know, like it's like whatever I wasn't getting or grasping, it'll click, and then I'm fine. So I want to be encouraging. I don't want to be discouraging. I don't want you to think that everybody's paintings have to look the same. They just don't. And don't let anybody ever bully you into that, because I'm telling you, people will. People will do anything they can to try to, make you feel bad at times. Don't let it happen. Don't take it. Don't let it happen. And be positive. You got to be your own advocate. That's what I always say. Got to be your own advocate. And isn't this pretty? I mean, just simple little designs can just make a plain old bottle something special. And look, this was just a wine bottle, for heaven's sakes. Now look how pretty it is. I mean, I think it's beautiful. I hope you do too, but if you don't, that's okay. We're all different. And our likes and dislikes, we're all different. And I'm trying to make sure you can see this. I love these. These are kind of my favorite ones to do. Alright. I'm going to do one more part here, and then I'm going to finish it up and let you see the outcome. I am going to go into here, which is my center, and do a lot of dotting for my center piece here. And I'm sorry that this flower kind of pooped on me here. Oh, sorry I said that too. I'm used to hanging around my grandchildren. Okay, let's see. I'm going to dot this one here. My little oddity. You're probably saying, what the heck kind of flower is that? Hey, it's a made-up one, right? We're just going to pop some dots in here and make it happy. I like the dots. Okay, then I'm going to flop it around here, turn it around and go back, put some white dots in. And then do the same thing up here. And they don't have to be overwhelmingly big. For the purpose of this video, I am just doing, I'm not doing all around the bottle. I will do around the bottle and show you the end result in this video. I'm finding that it's taking my videos, making them so long. Wow, almost have completed the whole bottle. Anyways, so there it is so far. And I will be back in shortly. Alright, so I just wanted to show you the completed bottle. I worked on the bigger one here a little bit. Still not real happy with it, but what can you do? Alright, well, I hope you like this. If you do, please make sure, again, you give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And when you're done watching this video, at the bottom of the video you'll see a share button. Please hit that share button, and that will allow you to share this on your social network with all your family and friends. Alright, again, I do appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos, taking the time to stop by. And until the next time, you have a good one.